Starter decks Yugi and Kaiba were released on March 29th, 2002, and were the definition of power creep. Battleox, Neo, and Lajin instantly ascended to the strongest normal summons in the game, far and away outclassing the likes of Skull Redbird from Legend of Blue Eyes. Summon Skull was a terrifying tribute monster sitting at a sizable 2500 attack, and new cards such as Wall of Illusion, Waboku, and Change of Heart immediately saw play. Keep in mind that there was still no limited or forbidden list at this point, meaning every card was still playable at 3 copies. In this series, both MBT and myself will be traversing the sands of Yu-Gi-Oh's history. Each episode will take a deep dive into Yu-Gi-Oh's past formats and unlock new strategies as new sets become available. Strap yourselves in because anything is possible. Welcome to the history of Yu-Gi-Oh!
Okay. I know that last time I said I was absolutely certain that there was no way I'm going to lose to Cimoooooooo, and then I proceeded to lose in a 2-0 as evidenced by my shirt of shame. The shirt of shame, ladies and gentlemen. But this time I am 101% sure there is no way I am losing this set. I have built a deck to surpass all others. I'm sick of sitting around and waiting on defense position monsters to draw Exodia. Clearly that wasn't working out. You'll remember in my last deck tech, I did paint a picture of a worst case scenario in which Cimoooooooo was one board wipe ahead of us, which is exactly what happened. A series of poor draws and poor deck building culminated to rob me of my deserved Exodia win. This time, I will not make the same mistake. We're going aggro, and we have just the cards to do it. In starter decks Yugi and Kaiba, we've got Lajin, the mystical genie of the lamp, an 1800 attack monster that wouldn't be surpassed until Mechanical Chaser. We've got Neo, the magic swordsman, who is okay, and, you know, we've also got Ryu Kishin Powered in here. Of course, we are still playing defensive threats like Giant Soldier of Stone, and Wall of Illusion has the defense points to not get run over by anything that doesn't require a tribute, and bounces it back to the opponent's hand, a clear defensive outlier. We're also still playing 2 Man-Eater Bug because, well, I'll explain in a second. We're playing 3 Change of Heart for our Tribute monster, Summon to Skull, and also to assemble OTKs. We're playing 3 Raigeki. This is the last format without a ban list, so I'm going to make as much use of these broken cards as I can. Triple Dark Hole, triple Pot of Greed, triple Swords of Revealing Light, which is still basically just a draw 3, 3 Monster Reborn, and 3 Trap Hole. Now, what's going to be critical in these games is that Trap Hole is the only reactive removal threat in the format with the exception of 2-pronged attack, which I will not be playing. We can't trap hole a monster that's been monster reborn, as we found out last set, and as a result, it's going to be critical that we summon Skull early, get it removed, and then reanimate it a whole bunch of times to get in for lethal. In the side deck, we've got D-Spell if our opponent Alex is still on Swords of Revealing Light. We've got Fissure if we need additional removal. We've got Card Destruction if they pivot to Exodia, which of course is still a legitimate strategy. I'm not knocking it. We've got Hane if our opponent is doing ridiculous Blue Eyes nonsense. And Trap Master, I'm just going to be real with you. I don't expect this to come up, but maybe they are playing 2-pronged attack. That said, I think this deck is going to have a 100% win rate versus anything Alex can put together, and I am so confident that next episode, you will not see me wearing this shirt.
It doesn't get any easier than that, you guys. We're already up 1-0 in the series against MBT, and it's only going to be downhill from here for him. I mean, each set's going to get progressively more just explosive in terms of power creep, and this episode is no exception. So now we are introducing starter deck Yugi and Kaiba into the mix to really just see how the game has evolved in just a short time span of 2 weeks. You can see based off our deck, a lot has changed, but at the same time, we're still playing a lot of the same powerful cards. So you see that we are still playing the 3 copies of Man-Eater Bug here. We also now have 3 copies of Wall of Illusion. This is just a better Giant Soldier of Stone, essentially, because anything that attacks into it is going to get bounced back to the hand. It has less defense, but 1850 is still pretty much bigger than every normal summonable monster, so this is going to be very annoying for Joseph to deal with. Now our beaters have upgraded significantly. We have 3 Battleox, 3 Lajin, and 3 Neo, the magic swordsman, 1700 for the Battleox and the Neo, and 1800 for the Lajin Jin. Cards like Wall of Illusion and Giant Soldier of Stone and some of the other 2K defenders have a higher defensive power than La Jin's attack power, but the thing is, they're going to put Joseph on a much shorter clock. Being able to combine this in tandem with cards like Monster Reborn to summon multiple, you can put him basically on lethal in many different scenarios, and there's not going to be as many opportunities for him to kind of draw his outs, especially when you combine it with like Fissure, Regeki, and the like. We're actually playing the One Summon Skull. We now have access to this courtesy of the starter decks, and that's really cool. It's a card that I don't want to play more of because look at all the removal that's in this format. It's nice though because it can hit over cards like Giant Soldier of Stone, even some of the other beaters like Neo and La Jin, so it's nice to have this as a one of, I feel, but I don't want to play more than that. For the spells, 3 Change of Heart, this is going to change a lot. Now this is crazy because not only do we get to take the monster, we can attack with it, we can tribute it, we can do whatever we want with the monster, and it's great because instead of it being removal, it can actually be a lethal threat because if he has a 2K defender, say if it's something like Giant Soldier of Stone, we can just put that vertical, summon one of our other beaters, and that's like 3,100 damage just right there, so Change of Heart might be stealing games. Down to 2 Dark Hole, I have the third one in the side deck, but we still need some sweepers, but Regeki's just infinitely better, so I want to make sure I max out on that. 2 copies of Fissure. Fissure's still just nice 1-for-1 removal. It only kills the thing with the lowest attack, but for the purposes of our format, that's perfectly fine. Monster Reborn is pretty much the only way we can get multiple monsters on the field in a given turn, and as we saw in the first episode, it's a very deadly card. 3 Pot of Greed, which is absurdly broken, and 3 Swords of Revealing Light. There's still few ways to out this, so this is basically just draw 3 cards over the course of 3 turns, and if you draw, you know, Regeki, Monster Reborn, normal summon, you might just be able to win off the back of Swords, buying you that time. For the traps, 3 Trap Hole just to stop any threats he may have, and 2 copies of Waboku. Now, when it comes to Waboku, it's a very good way to be able to protect our own monsters from being destroyed. Buy us some time, maybe we have a Change of Heart in hand that we can take his big threat and just OTK him on the next turn. Moving on to the side deck, 2 copies of Hain. I didn't want to play these in the main deck. It's nice to bounce his cards back to his hand, but Hain's kind of weak. Wall of Illusion just kind of does this better, even though they have to actually attack into it, where Hain can flip up, but it's in the side deck. We'll see what happens. 2 Trap Master. This is to deal with any of Joseph's potential trap holes or Waboku's or anything he might have to kind of clear a path for us to be able to get in. 2 Giant Soldier of Stone in case we need to play a little bit more defensively. This is the best one we have. The 3rd Dark Hole, we'll see if we need to play more board wipes, but you know, Dark Hole, the problem is it destroys our own monsters as well, so if we're in a very offensive position, this card's not going to do much, which is why I cut it down. 2 Dispel. This is actually an out 2 Swords of Revealing Light, as a matter of fact, and if we feel that that card's too oppressive, we can just side these in, hopefully maybe have it to disenchant his swords, and we can just get in pretty much just by surprise. 2 Stop Defense to kind of just clear the way for us to attack and get in some damage. 2 Reinforcements. This is actually a very good card because it boosts La Jin to 23 and Neo and Battle Ox to 22, which means they can actually hit over some of the 2K defenders. They can also hit over one another without losing themselves in battle, so it's a 1-for-1 exchange. You're trading the reinforcements for a copy of the vanilla, and that's pretty good because you're maintaining your own monster, you're maintaining the initiative, and that's what you want to do. We have 1 Ultimate Offering. I don't know how good this card is in this format. We also don't have that many monsters in the deck, so I felt like just siding it would be okay, and then the 3rd copy of Waboku in case we need to play more defensive. But I'm excited to see what happens. It is time to duel. Joseph, nice shirt you got on over there, buddy. Why do you happen to be wearing our favorite shirt of all time?
I am wearing the shirt of shame because I happened to lose the last time we played. But don't get comfortable. This is the last time you're going to see me wearing this.
What was that about in the first episode about you saying there is a 0% chance I lose this?
Okay, in my defense, I absolutely had the drop on the scenario in which you are 1 sweeper ahead of me. Unfortunately, I didn't do the smart thing, which was to account for it in the game. You know, maybe I just didn't believe in the heart of the cards enough. That could have been it, too.
That was most likely exactly why you lost. But, you know, it's another episode. It's another game. Let's see what happens. Let's see if I can use my rock, paper, scissors power to... Oh! Not looking too good to start, buddy.
I believe in paper strat. If I go second, it is because the paper wills it.
Okay, so we'll see how the paper wills you getting 2-0'd again, but good luck, sir.
Good luck to you two.
We're going to start off with a lovely Pot of Greed.
Jesus Christ. All right.
Always a good way to start off, don't you think? How about 2?
Oh.
I like the first one so much.
This is just going to make the 6-for-1 off the Dark Hole just even more debilitating.
That is fair. I will go ahead and T-set and pass over to you.
Wow, a set back row. What could that possibly be, I wonder?
We actually have more choices for what it could be this time around.
Yeah, but not many more choices in terms of playable ones.
That's true.
All right, in the pendulum zone, I will activate Swords of Revealing Light.
Ooh, you got me. Maneater Bug will flip up and destroy himself.
Ooh, do flip effects activate when swords exists? I know they changed it, but I don't know when.
I believe so. I don't know why it wouldn't.
Hey, I'll take it.
Yeah, it's fine. I will draw for turn. Speaking of, actually, did I draw my card for turn? Or for the beginning of the game?
I'd say you've drawn enough.
I mean, it's okay. I'll let it go this
Take
time.
another one. Take another one.
Did I actually... Hold on, let's see. I should have... If I pot of greeted twice... That would put me at 7 cards. I'd now be at 8 drawing for turn. 3, 6, 8. So I did not draw. Okay, so we will take our extra draw there. You know, this is the fun of playing old format. You forget you get to draw 6 cards. Okay, so a set monster. That's kind of cute. I think I will go ahead and respect your swords with a swords of my own. So let's go ahead and flip this up here.
All right, let me introduce you to the premier format threat. I'm talking about Wall of Illusion, baby.
This is actually like a very significant upgrade over like Giant Soldier of Stone, honestly.
We're losing 150 defense points, which really doesn't matter in a format where the third best monster is Ryukishin powered.
I think I'm just gonna pass. Go ahead. That's turn 1 on your swords.
Right? Ooh, right on time! Let's see if we can chain a couple of these bad boys together.
You know, it's only fair. I got to use my 2 of 3, so you can get one as well.
Oh, dang. I've got a lot of good stuff, but I don't really have any reason to use it. I do really dislike that Swords of Revealing Light is just draw 3 in this format.
That's essentially what it is, and it's weird because I feel like we're going to be at this weird halt where neither one of us wants to play anything. Yeah, it's going to make for a very interesting game plan here. I guess I'm just going to go ahead and set and pass. Go ahead. Turn 2 on your swords.
And let's see what I draw. Maybe. Yeah, I'll go ahead and set this bad boy and pass as well.
I will draw. That's turn 2 on my swords now. I guess I'll just do the same thing as you and pass the turn. Your swords has expired, my friend.
All right, no big deal. I'll draw for turn. And unfortunately, I don't think I can let you get to your draw phase with 3 monsters potentially on your side of the field. There's pretty much a 0% chance you don't have about 4 Raigekis in your hand.
Couldn't I say the same for you, though?
Well, I'll show you one of them right now.
Yep, you got me. You got me.
Oh, geez, those weren't even defensive walls. Are you all the way aggro?
Maybe I just wanted to see how quickly I could just win the game since I thought it worked so well the last time.
I'll draw Exodia before then.
I think this format might be a little bit too aggressive for Exodia to be viable, but we'll have to see. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and normal summon Neo the Magic Swordsman.
No problem.
Let's go ahead and swing into this monster you've got over here.
And unfortunately for you, that's going to be a Giant Soldier of Stone.
Ooh, are you doubling down on the Exodia strat? Because I feel like with all these defensive walls, you might be.
I don't know. Did you remember to board Card Destruction?
That might be the meta, actually. Main phase 2, just because I liked it so much, I'm going to go ahead and do it again. I'm going to activate another copy of Swords of Revealing Light. Go ahead, buddy.
I am losing my mind. Dang. Swords is so strong.
Where's your D-spell, Joseph? Come on.
They're in the board!
Mine are too.
You can bet they're coming in.
I'll draw. Turn 1 on swords. I will, do I want to attack that? That's kind of risky. It was another soldier. I guess I'll just set and pass. Go ahead.
Jeez, this is rough. Again, getting really... this is so bad, but I think I actually have to Dark Hole here.
Oh, wow. Okay, sure. That's fine.
I hate this, but Swords is just such a powerful tool. Like, if you Raigeki me on the backswing, I could just be dead.
It's possible. Turn 2 on my swords. I will draw. I will just go ahead and set a card and pass to you.
All right, I will draw as well. That's looking all right. I'm going to normal summon a La Jin, the mystical genie of the lamp.
That is
turn
fine.
it on your trap hole if you so desire.
No, you're good. I'll let it go.
Okay, I'll pass back.
All right, swords expires now. Ooh. What do we do with that? That kind of does things, I think. Interesting. All right, I'm going to start my turn by flipping up this Maneater Bug, and I'm going to pop this set monster.
I was really hoping that you were not going to pick the monster.
So my next play here is I'm going to go ahead and normal summon a copy of Battle Ox.
Sure.
I'm going to activate Monster Reborn and target my Lajin that is in the graveyard.
All good by me.
And then I think, man, how big do I really want to go here? I think I'm going to go ahead and Monster Reborn again. I'm going to take Neo the Magic Swordsman from the graveyard. And then I'm also going to activate Change of Heart and take your Lajin.
Am I getting OTK'd?
You're not getting OTK'd. This will be just under what would be enough to kill you.
Oh, wow. All right. 450, 1700, 1700, and then a pair of 18s.
Pretty damaging. We have you down to a measly 550. But unfortunately, we can't do the job. So I'm just going to go ahead and pass the turn.
All right.
Let's see the Regeki. Show me the Regeki.
God, if I had it. I think I can make some stuff happen anyway. I am going to summon a Lajin of my own.
Sure.
Next, I am going to activate my own Monster Reborn.
Okay.
On this Neo the Magic Swordsman.
Sure.
And I will fire off another one as well.
Oh, we were both holding so much gas.
I mean, we had to be.
Yeah.
Not much left. All right, I'll go to combat. We'll crash into one of these bad boys.
I really don't think you're going to like the direction that this is about to take.
No.
I'm going to flip up Waboku.
Oh, shoot. Okay. All right. To the grave goes my Lajin.
Yes, because mine cannot be destroyed. Would you like to keep attacking?
Just for my own mental health, I'll take a couple of shots on this man-eater bug.
Okay.
All right. Geki me to death if you dare.
That's pretty easily done. You should have expected that.
All right. It was a close game one, but I think it was absolutely decided by your extremely sacky double Swords of Revealing Light, and no other reason.
Sure, go ahead and let yourself believe that. So, Joseph, not looking so hot over there after that one. I think Waboku kind of blew you out, to say the least.
Why am I not playing Waboku? What a huge miss. I didn't think there would be combat. Oh, gosh.
We'll see what happens this time around. Looks like you're going to be going first. Make sure you draw your extra card and not forget like I did in the first game.
I have elected to play an extremely suspect board strategy, so I hope that it pays off for me. And if it doesn't, it's just because I got sacked.
Of course, that's always why you lose, isn't it?
The sun is actually in my eyes. In fact, it's so painful.
Let's go ahead and Dark Hole. I'm feeling this.
Dark Hole the first Lajin. Wow. All right,
Yeah,
I'll take a 1-for-1.
I'm feeling pretty good about this. I'm gonna go ahead and normal summon Battle Ox. I'm gonna Monster Reborn your Lajin.
All right.
And let's get in for 3,500.
Well, I can't say I'm too happy about it.
And I'll pass the turn.
Your Dark Hole looked pretty good, so I'm going to fire one off myself.
You know, I expected that, to be honest.
All right. And next we will normal summon a second Lajin and see if we can't get in here. That's the first damage I've done.
Yeah, I mean, that's an accomplishment. I mean, technically, your Giant Soldier of Stone did 300 damage back to me. So
yeah, this is the first damage I've done that wasn't a direct infliction by yourself. Finally, I'm controlling the pace of the game.
And this is the end of the game. I'm going to normal summon Wall of Illusion, Monster Reborn Lajin, and, your Lajin. And I'm going to Change of Heart your Lajin, and that's the end of the game.
Are you kidding me? 46? Jesus. I seriously am getting 2-0'd by Wall of Illusion beats. Oh, God. Oh, my hand. It's all gas.
What's in your hand?
I've got Regeki, I've got Reborn, I've got Neo, and I've got the most important card of the matchup, Trap Master.
Oh, hell yeah. To be fair, Trap Mastering Waboku actually is pretty lit. Not gonna lie.
It's like the one good interaction, yeah. Unfortunately, you don't even set Waboku until really the turn before you make a big lethal push.
Right.
Oh, I hate this format. The ban list cannot come soon enough.
You know, I think, if anything, that just demonstrated why Change of Heart got limited, Monster Reborn got limited, Raigeki got limited, Dark Hole got limited, and then eventually a bunch of these cards also got banned, and then subsequently limited later on. But yeah, like, that is just completely and utterly degenerate. That is disgusting.
Tell me that
so
Swords
sorry.
of Revealing Light is limited, please.
Swords is limited in after the ban list, yes. So that is the nice thing for our viewers. The degeneracy will continue, but just in other ways. But we're going to just be having definitely a reprieve from the 3-ofs of all the power spells in the game. So you're not going to be seeing them with nearly the same level of frequency. But I think this is a very interesting point in Yu-Gi-Oh's history. Like, right before the limited list, it wasn't even a ban list. It was actually a limited list. And right before the release of Metal Raiders, this was how you played Yu-Gi-Oh! And Change of Heart, I think, definitely just compared to the first episode, shows how much of an impact maker that card is.
Yeah, I was hoping that I'd be able to draw it at some point, but I do have Summon Skulls in my deck, and that is a card to which there is not a clean answer in this format. Even sending it to the graveyard with something like a Man-Eater Bug means you can just Monster Reborn it later, and doing that a couple of times is just a free pass to victory. Unfortunately, it does very little in the face of Swords of Revealing Light, Monster Reborn, Change of Heart beatdown.
Yeah, I just played a lone copy of Summon Skull because it's so hard to justify tributing a monster unless it's something that you specifically Change of Hearted. Because, I mean, there's 3 Dark Hole, there's 3 Raigeki, there's 3 Fisher. You could get your Summon Skull Change of Hearted as well, which is just as bad as it, you know, getting destroyed. So it's good because it can beat over some of, like, the big blocky boys and the 2K defenders. But I don't know. I think Summon Skull isn't as good in this particular format than, like, maybe post-limited lists, because then the likelihood of it surviving is actually a lot higher comparatively.
Yeah. To those of you wondering how a card game like Yu-Gi-Oh! Survived when early gameplay was this, keep in mind that Yu-Gi-Oh! And a lot of TCGs kind of use the limited availability of cards as a de facto limited list. Like, kids weren't showing up to the playground with triple Raigeki, and thank goodness for that.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you have to think. So, at the time, Raigeki was a super rare, Dark Hole was a super rare, Monster Reborn was an ultra rare. Change of Heart, funny enough, actually came in common in the starter deck Yugi and Kaiba, so that actually made that card very easy to acquire for anyone, and, you know, you wouldn't think it would be that deadly, but I think this episode has proven otherwise.
I can't wait till we get to a format in which someone else has already figured out what the best deck is. Clearly, I am not very good at evaluating formats.
What other cards did you decide to play in this episode? I'm curious.
Nothing that's too out of the ordinary. I was on D-Spell in the board. I was on Hane in the board. I think really these games were just determined by the effectiveness with which we used the exact same really powerful 3 or 4 spells.
Right, I agree. And I think that's a big shift, though, to be fair, because you saw in the first episode how much we were really just playing the set pass game and hoping we don't get Raigeki'd. And you can't really do that in this format because Change of Heart makes it so that the balance of monsters on both players' on field can just shift so easily at any given moment. And I think just having the offensive pressure of cards like Lajin, Battleox, Neo, it makes it so that you put your opponent on a much faster clock, where back in LOB format, you just have Skull Redbird and Urabi. So yeah, it may be only a few hundred life points, but on the macro, that adds up significantly and can really make the difference between even a 1 and 2 turn clock in a lot of instances. I could not have done what I just did if we were playing the LOB format, because I wouldn't have had the attack power to do it.
Yeah, not that Wall of Illusion has a huge attack stat or anything, but back-to-back double Lajin turns is really hard to compete with.
Yeah. Absolutely. But it's interesting to say the least, and I'm curious to see how things are going to shape up as we keep moving forward, because we have the limited list coming next, so a lot of these cards are going to be hit, which is probably for the better for the, you know, purity of the series that's the case. But also we have the fact that Metal Raiders is going to introduce a ton of powerful cards. Mirror Force is going to enter the foray now, so it's Raigeki in a trap, and there's like very few outs to it. I mean, I guess you've got the patented Trap Master here to deal with it, so maybe he'll come in clutch. Who knows? it's going to be interesting to see how these formats will continue to progress as we move on. I'm excited.
Yeah, me too. I'm very excited to lose to Mirror Force instead of Wuboku. That's way more justifiable.
I think that's a lot more dignified as well. I think that's...
Exactly.
So guys, that's going to wrap it up for this second episode of the History of Yu-Gi-Oh! We hope you guys enjoyed. Be sure to let us know. Hashtag Team MBT, hashtag Team Cimo down in the comments. Who are you rooting for? I don't know why you'd be Team MBT at this point because I'm just... I mean, I'm just definitively going to clean this whole series up, but we'll see. We'll see. A lot can happen. There's a lot more decks we have to go through. When we get to the future episodes, there's not just going to be a singular deck even. We might play multiple decks in an episode to give you guys a much wider breadth of variety of what these formats looked like, and it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm excited. So guys, thank you so much for watching, and we will see you next time.